Hi everyone, it's Amy. All right, so let's get right into this on a nice Monday. Let's get into the second half of the 36 thinking errors. As I've said, we all have thinking errors. We are not immune, none of us. It is just a matter of figuring out which ones we have, and then with the correctives that I give you, you can start working on it. All right, so the first one is victim stance. This was, again, another biggie with the sex offenders that I taught in prison. There was not one class I had that didn't have at least 5 people with victim stance. Now, this is someone who, when held accountable for their actions, immediately goes to blame other people, blaming them for everything and portraying themselves as the victim. If you have this thinking error, you demand that people respect your rights and your desires. But then if it doesn't happen, you see yourself as just being treated very poorly, and again, you are the victim. Ironically, people with victim stance who have victimized other people cannot see that. They cannot see the way they've victimized others, only that they are the victim. All right? And the problem with this thinking error is it is really a linchpin with sex offenders. If you cannot give up this victim stance, there really is no chance for change. So, what's the corrective here? You need to learn that there is a difference between being held accountable for your actions and actually really being a victim. A victim is someone who has had his or her rights violated without a choice, without any control in the matter. All right, so you need to see that, and you need to take responsibility for your decisions and your actions. All right, the next one is lack of time perspective. If you know someone who has this thinking error, or maybe you have that, this is someone who demands immediate success and possession of whatever they want. They don't use the past to learn from their experiences to see that this really does not work. And they don't have realistic plans for the future. They want everything right now. All right, so the corrective is to have a realistic perspective of time. You need to develop some patience. You also need to understand that sometimes gratification has to be delayed. That doesn't mean you're not going to eventually get what you want, but it takes time. So you can plan realistic goals and plan on working on them slowly and steadily. Things will get done. All right, the next one, number 21, is a failure to put yourself in another's position. This is someone who demands every break and every consideration for themselves, but never stops to think about what other people think or feel or what they expect. This is someone who may entirely ignore someone else's existence just to get what they want. Somebody who just steamrolls over people. All right, they refuse to see how others are affected by these things that they do. So what's the corrective? Think about all the ways that people will be affected by your actions. It sounds simple because it really is. Take just 2 seconds to think about how what you do affects other people. All right, put yourself in someone else's place. Yes, it's empathy again. We're going to keep using that word because other people's feelings and rights are just as important as yours. Mind blown. All right, number 22, failure to consider injury to others. This is someone who clearly injures others, but doesn't see it that way. When held accountable, they claim to be the injured party. Even though they see tears from someone or injury or physical or verbal resistance from someone, they are not moved by it. All right? They continue to deny that they've hurt anyone. So what is the corrective? I'm sorry to say, folks, again, it is empathy. You need to develop empathy for other people. We have a whole module on empathy that we're going to cover. So if you have issues with empathy, I'm going to help you with that too. We'll cover it, but you need to see your impact, the impact that you have on other people, and you need to develop some kind of self-disgust for hurting other people. All right, the next one, number 23, is a failure to assume obligations. Now, if you have this thinking error, not only do you fail to have a sense of obligation, but you're quick to offer excuses when obligations aren't met. Obligations are irritating to you, and if you're pushed to meet obligations, you push back with resentment and anger. All right, so the corrective for this: do some easy stuff, some easy responsible things, like paying bills, obeying the law. Start out small, but have some moral sense within yourself. Try to carry out obligations to others in the same way that you would want someone to honor their obligations to you. All right, the last one for today. Number 24, failure to assume responsible initiatives. Now, this is someone who doesn't want to plan or start projects, but for very specific reasons. Number one, it fails to provide the excitement that they want. They would much rather do something that they're forbidden to do. The other reason is that they don't want to start things unless they are guaranteed success or triumph. And number three, they're afraid to start things, start projects, because they are afraid that their lack of knowledge or their ineptitude will be exposed to others. This is someone who likes to just get by. All right, so what is the corrective for this? Learn by doing. Motivation only happens when you start to take some initiative. All right, make some small, responsible plans and follow through on those plans. Okay, another 6 down. 12 more to go, my people. You can do this. I know it's a lot to get through, but once you have an idea of where your problems lie, then you can solve them. You will then have no more excuses. Okay, until next time, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please share these videos with someone who you think they might help. Okay? And get in touch with me through this channel, through Facebook, through Twitter, through Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, be well.